Today, we're about to witness moments where the unforgiving power of the ocean, combined with human error and sheer bad luck, has led to some of the most unforgettable maritime disasters. Let's dive in! We begin with the ocean's raw fury. A deck mounted camera captures the moment a ship is pounded by relentless waves, tossed and shaken in the heart of the storm. It's a feeling of helplessness, like drifting on the edge between survival and disaster. A massive fire at sea turning nightmare into reality. Nearly 3,000 cars were being transported when flames suddenly erupted, engulfing the ship near a protected bird sanctuary off the coast of the Netherlands. Fears of a widespread environmental disaster quickly followed. The cause, a shocking level of negligence. The captain ignored critical safety procedures, turning the massive vessel into a ticking time bomb. In the legendary Drake Passage, known for its brutal storms, a cruise ship is caught in a vortex of violent winds. Passengers find themselves suspended between paradise and hell. A heart-stopping scene. A group of fishermen are forced to leap from their boat just moments before a speeding vessel crashes straight into it. 1 second later, and it could have been fatal. Chaos erupts at an Indonesian seaport. A runaway container ship slams into a giant crane, causing massive damage. Luckily, no one was hurt.
SSG'ye vurdu. SSG'ye vurdu. SSG'ler gidiyor. Lan dur. Lan seni kaptan yapanım bu liman. Allah SSG düştü.
Disaster after disaster. A Russian ship is hit by a violent storm. Gusts so strong they blow all 52 vehicles. It was carrying straight into the sea. Every blast of wind lands like a merciless blow. A small miscalculation with massive consequences. A container forklift topples into the sea during loading, all due to a critical technical error. The sea can split anything in two, even a massive cargo ship. The vessel broke apart after crashing into a reef during a storm, a brutal reminder of nature's unimaginable force. port of Buenos Aires a moment no one saw coming. The cruise ship orchestra collides with the docked Pisia. No one was injured, but the property damage was immense.
Nos fuimos, y el policía se quedó en Buenos Aires. Se come el muelle allá, ¿eh?
Fire at sea is the stuff of nightmares. A collision between a container ship and an oil tanker sparked a massive inferno, leaving both vessels engulfed in flames, damaged beyond all hope of repair. In Russian waters, carelessness strikes again. A cargo ship crashes into a docked vessel, causing serious damage all due to a simple navigation error. A heart-pounding moment. The crew watches helplessly as a massive ship barrels toward them. But thanks to a split-second reaction, disaster is narrowly avoided. In the Philippines, a small boat approaches the dock too fast, slams into the pier, and flips over. A man and a child manage to survive, but that moment is something they'll never forget. A tense situation. A container ship breaks free from its tow line and crashes into the dock, barely missing the tugboat crew working in its path. On a double-decker cruise boat, disaster strikes without warning. The vessel capsizes, sending over 100 passengers into panic. Rescue teams arrive just in time, but once again, questions about safety rise to the surface. A split-second collision between racing boats just inches away from disaster. One athlete reacts on instinct, and it's that reflex that saves them.
Look!
An offshore supply vessel is trapped in massive waves and brutal weather. The relentless rocking puts the crew in a fight for their lives. In the heart of storm season, the fishermen alongside Ibrahim Herri refuse to back down. They brave every crashing wave, defy the danger, and in the end, return home with pride in their hearts.
ચાલુ થયો
Edition, a French fishing vessel is suspected of illegal fishing in the waters off the Faroe Islands. During its attempted escape, it collides with a patrol ship, sparking tension on the high seas. Howling winds, towering waves. The fishing boat tosses like a leaf in the open sea. Every crashing swell threatens to sweep it all away. A leisure cruise can quickly turn into a nightmare. On the deck of a tourist ship, passengers scream as a massive wave crashes straight in, bringing water, wind, and raw fear. The sea is beautiful, but it's also unforgiving. And sometimes, one single moment is all it takes to change everything. The ocean always hides danger beneath the surface. If you want to keep exploring these life and death moments at sea, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss the next heart-pounding story. See you next time. The ocean isn't always calm. One careless moment among towering waves and disaster could strike right before your eyes. Today, on Always Intense, we invite you to witness some of the most terrifying incidents ever captured on camera. Let's dive right in. We kick things off with a brutal wave that sends the entire group flying into the sea. A horrifying moment no one ever wants to experience. Absolutely terrifying. This boat, the Arabella, tried to power through the massive waves that haul over inlet, but eventually they had no choice but to turn back. And that's it. He went out for a casual fishing trip on the one day the river decided to go wild. Good luck, Captain.
Não perde, franceira. Olha, pegou pedra, ó. Olha a merda que deu aí, ó. Rodou, Bart, rodou. Rodou.
This shark didn't come to play, it came to steal. But a missed bite left it swimming away with just a bruised ego.
Half on him like he did that. Oh!
Oh no! Jesus! Oh. Oh. There you go, boys.
Wind up, wind up.
In this shot, the boat appears to completely lose control and launches straight onto shore at a frightening speed. Not the kind of landing anyone expected. Ever witnessed an incident like this before? Tell us in the comments below.
Holy shit.
Jeez.
You've got to be kidding.
And then he's gonna leave.
Goodness! Much anymore. Oh!
Despite the raging sea, this man still charges straight out. And the result? Well, you can see for yourself. Oh my god, giant waves crash in! And in an instant, the tiny boat flips over, swallowing everyone whole like the sea just devoured them alive.
Me. Yes. Jerry! Jerry! We need to help them, bro!
The next disaster hits when a ship crashes hard into a rocky shoreline just feet away from a man standing nearby. And yet, he remains completely calm, like nothing happened. Watch this closely. One wrong turn of the wheel and this is the result.
Over here. Somebody's hanging. Oh my god. This is going to be good. Oh my. Get big. Get out of the way. Okay. Oh my god. He's going to. Oh my god. There you go. There you go. Get on that boat.
Sorry, buddy. This is a tourist boat, not a seal taxi. Still, your surprise visit delighted the kids more than anything else. It's like a high-speed ocean chase. This little boat is going full throttle, trying to outrun the monstrous wave roaring behind it. Watch this closely. One wrong turn of the wheel and this is the result.
Oh!
They challenged the ocean and the ocean hit back with no mercy. The furious waves tossed the boat like a rag doll. Catching the fish is fun, but keeping it is the real challenge. When you're up against a finned thief.
Bro, did you see what happened to that?
Yet another boat slams straight into the rocky coast. When the sea gets rough, even a second's distraction can lead to disaster. Maybe he thought the boat could glide like a reindeer on ice. Or who knows, this could be the start of a homemade ski jump for the Sea Olympics. In this scene, the Amore Mio yacht loses control amid the waves, crashes into rocks, and starts sinking off Acapulco. Thankfully, everyone on board was rescued, but the yacht now sleeps forever at the ocean floor. This isn't a journey anymore, it's a fight for survival. That tiny vessel is now completely swallowed by giant waves.
Whoa. Oh, dude, got that. Dude with the 2 broken legs right there. Oh my god. Dude.
Just look at what he did to the boat. A truly disastrous maneuver if there ever was one. Would you dare set sail in conditions like this? I sure wouldn't. No one expected an uninvited guest mid-voyage. A rare encounter caught entirely on camera. Oh no, massive waves sweep in, tossing small boats around like toys in an angry sea. Chaos and damage are inevitable. Witnessing this tiny boat is battling ferocious waves, struggling to stay upright in a raging sea. This is what happens when nature loses its temper. Entire maritime networks disrupted. Cars swallowed by seawater in seconds, turning parking lots into oceans. In this clip, a massive yacht loses control and slams into a dock, crushing several small boats beneath it. A devastating collision causing major damage in the marina. Waterway safety isn't optional, it's a matter of survival. This inflatable boat tried to fight the current, but you can see how that ended.
Go, 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 go!
An unforgettable experience for everyone lucky enough to be on board that day, enjoying it so far. There's plenty more ahead. Don't blink. In the freezing polar regions, where temperatures drop to 50 degrees C, enormous machines called icebreakers silently carve paths through meters-thick ice. Icebreakers are specially built with reinforced hulls and bows, strong enough to crush ice and clear paths for other ships. Some can break through ice up to 3 meters thick. These ships operate mainly in the Arctic and Antarctic, resupplying research stations, guiding cargo vessels, or supporting scientific missions. Each time the bow hits the ice, a mini earthquake echoes beneath the sea like a clash between steel and frozen earth. From above, the ship looks like a red arrow slicing through a white, frozen world, leaving a cold, grey corridor of seawater behind. What do you think of these icebreakers? Share your thoughts and don't forget to follow if you love epic journeys like this. Guess what's happening here? Someone give this fish a gold medal, it just outswam the boat. One wild fishing day to remember. A dramatic moment. A massive Red Z cargo ship lost control and crashed into a dock in the Suez Canal. A steering malfunction led to this unbelievable situation. At sea, even a small mistake can have massive consequences. During this incident, the lights were still flashing, but no one was dancing anymore. Watch as an unexpected wave crashes the party. Everyone scrambles, but no one escapes. In this alarming clip, the Cyprus-flagged cargo ship, Good Faith, ran aground off Andros Island while en route to Odessa. A violent storm drove it onto the rocks, tearing open the hull and flooding the ship. Thankfully, all 22 crew members were safely evacuated in time. Up next, let's explore the true giants of the sea. You're looking at a seismic survey vessel flying the Bahamian flag built by Mitsubishi in Nagasaki, Japan. A 104-metre-long, 70-metre-wide technological beast, home to 80 non-stop working crew. Its mission, mapping offshore oil reserves, weighing in at 2,600 tonnes. It packs 6 hybrid engines delivering a massive 31-ton, 300 horsepower with a top speed of 16 knots. Next, a clear example of cutting-edge marine tech. This Danish-flagged submarine support vessel was built in China in 2018 by COSCO. It handles missions in extreme ocean depths far beyond human reach. It boasts a giant crane with a lifting capacity of 400 tons, operating down to 3,000 meters. Curious to see it in action? Drop a comment below. This Norwegian-flagged service vessel was built in Spain by Gandan in 2018. Modern and mighty. It's designed to house and support technicians maintaining offshore wind turbines. 82 metres long, 17 metres wide, with 2 cranes and a sea-to-platform walkway perfectly built for offshore tasks. It can host up to 60 people, weighs 4,800 tons, and runs with 10,300 horsepower, reaching speeds of 13 knots ready to conquer rough seas. Meet Happy Star, a heavy lift ship equipped with 2 massive cranes, each capable of hoisting 100 tons. It's 156 metres long, 29 metres wide, and built to carry oversized cargo, even through icy waters. Powered by a single engine producing 11,900 horsepower, this beast hits speeds of 17 knots faster than most in its class. This colossal vessel, flying the Maltese flag, was built in Bremerhaven, Germany. It installs gigantic pipelines on the seafloor, connecting oil rigs to offshore refineries. Equipped with twin-tower cranes with a total lifting capacity of 800 tons, it operates at jaw-dropping depths up to 3,500 metres. Now that's impressive. Would you dare to take on this thrill ride? One careless moment and the consequences are instant. This ship pushed the speed too far and nearly lost control. Do you think this method actually works?
Oh, fuck it, just peel out! Oh my god!
Opening scene, a small fishing boat struggles against crashing waves. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Get ready for a tense moment as a massive wave rises up right in front of the bow. It's like the entire ocean is unleashing its fury. Next, get ready for a high-speed show on the waves where the yacht tears across the water like it's slicing it wide open. This incident highlights that even patrol boats aren't immune to unfortunate collisions. Oh man, what an awkward situation. Who needs a steering wheel when the flood decides where you're going? The power of the floodwaters is truly terrifying. Look, those two tour boats are getting swept away completely helpless, with nothing they can do. In this alarming shot, the sailboat tilts sharply under strong winds in the open ocean. Just one moment of lost balance and the consequences could be severe. In this amusing shot, a seal climbs right onto the boat, as if it knows exactly where to find the fresh fish buffet. Even more thrilling moments are coming up, so don't look away and be sure to subscribe.
He's gonna get in the boat. Look at him. Oh my God! He's getting in the boat! Is he supposed to do that? Oh my God! He's like, protect you. I'm gonna get the tank myself. Oh my Lord! Oh yeah!
While trying to anchor close to an oil tanker for assistance, this tugboat ended up with a massive hole in its hull. Despite the crew's efforts to keep it afloat, the sea ultimately swallowed it whole. Oh man, that was an incredibly hard hit. Luckily, the crane held firm, preventing an even bigger disaster. Did you see that huge waves slammed right into the cargo ship, sending up a spray of white foam? In this situation, even a slight jolt could put the smaller boat up front in serious danger. The ocean isn't always gentle. When the waves get angry, Even the sturdiest ships can become vulnerable. Let's take a look at a series of clips that show just how harsh the sea can be. Next, get ready to witness a collision at full speed. The oil tanker takes the hit head-on, leaving its hull anything but intact. He thought his fishing trip was over, but the fish had other ideas. In this dramatic shot, an iron ore carrier loses its balance and sinks in an instant due to some malfunction. Fortunately, the entire crew managed to escape in time. A breathtakingly tense moment. Two massive ships, one collision, and the damage is guaranteed to be anything but minor.
Suvari Bey. Halatlara bakacaksın, halatlara. Sen git halatlara bak, halatlara. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Someone please wake the captain up. In this situation, don't panic, even though it looks chaotic. Everything is carefully planned. This is an effort to create an artificial reef, hoping it will become a new home for thousands of marine creatures. The boat charges straight under the bridge without any sign of stopping. And when it finally emerges, all that's left is a mangled heap of scrap metal. Look at this moment. The raging flood mercilessly topples the boat. a haunting reminder of nature's unpredictable power.
The blue one that's just going under. Oh, there she goes. Fuck.
This sand carrier got a massive hole in its hull and sank quickly into the river. It all happened so fast that it caught everyone by surprise. Unfortunately, a multi-million-dollar yacht charges straight into monstrous waves offshore. It's no longer cruising, it's fighting to survive. In this thrilling shot, the ship bounces up, then plunges down like a roller coaster. Is this a luxury cruise or a test of pure nerve? In a shocking incident from Bangladesh, a sand barge spirals completely out of control. What followed was nothing short of horrifying. No one saw it coming. Another crash on the Magna River, Bangladesh. A fragile boat meets a steel beast weighing hundreds of tons. Let's hope no one was hurt in that impact.
বাড়ি টাকাবে এখন 3 হাত বাড়ি টাকাবে আল্লাহ সারাইছে আল্লাহ সারাইছে আল্লাহ
Chaos erupts as the boat spirals out of control. No one waits. Passengers jump overboard one by one. Let's just hope they all made it out safe. It sounds like a joke, but it's real. This guy put the boat on autopilot and went for a nap.
Oh my god.
Oh no, giant shipping containers are tumbling into the ocean. Each drop costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. But for some, this could be an unexpected treasure hunt.
careful, be careful! Take, good.
A dangerous moment caught on camera. Two ships approach each other at a deadly range. There's no time to act. The collision is instant. This incident proves in busy waters like these, you can't afford to lose focus, not even for a second. Brace yourself. A small boat launches into the air like it's taking flight. Can you feel the power of the ocean yet? You were so sure you timed that step perfectly, but the doc disagrees. Come on. Maybe he just wanted to join in the fun. As you can see, once the ship loses balance, the inside turns into a battlefield. The feeling of losing control is terrifying. That screeching sound of metal will send chills down your spine. Thousands of tons of steel, and not enough time to stop. Oh man. That was one dangerous hit. What do you think? Who was at fault here? Let us know in the comments. In this clip, the ship doesn't slow down. It just charges onto land. People are shouting everywhere, but no one can stop it in time. No body of water is truly safe if you let your guard down. Experience and alertness. They're not optional. They're essential. When the ocean gets angry, everything on the surface pays the price.
This is a waste of my time. This is a waste of my time. I did not say a word. No, earlier one. It's like really time with you.
Just waves, no boats, only the endless sea and the roar of crashing water. Nature's full power, unleashed, without mercy. A tourist boat loses control in a narrow canal. Next thing you know, bang on the left, bang on the right. Boat struggling through towering waves at sea. A journey where even the slightest misstep could lead to disaster. Each crashing wave is another test of courage. These waves look like they're trying to swallow the entire boat. The Sewol ferry tragedy devastated all of South Korea. Carrying hundreds of high school students to Jeju Island, the ship suddenly encountered disaster. Truly horrifying. In this clip, a barge drifts off course and slams into another vessel. Incidents like this often begin with just a few moments of the captain letting down his guard. In this terrifying scene, a small boat crashes straight into a rock face as violent waves crash all around. The impact throws a person into the water. We can only hope he knows how to swim. Guess what's about to happen? A shark suddenly approaches and attacks a tiny kayak. It's a tense and almost unbelievable situation.
Shark ran me. Holy.
What do you think they're doing out there right in the middle of the ocean's fury? When a major storm hits, ships are the first to brace against nature's wrath.
Yeah, we got a couple here.
This video was captured by a nearby crew as two massive cargo ships collided in one of Asia's busiest waterways. One ship had plenty of time and distance to react, but didn't slow down or change course. Was it a steering malfunction or a fatal decision from the control room? This is the moment the NMA grain carrier lost control and slammed into the Brazo Lago Bridge. The ship got wedged against the bridge's protective barrier. making it extremely difficult to pull free. After the incident, it spent 8 months in repair, with damages exceeding $15 million. This unbelievable scene happened near the Monos Islands, Trinidad. Heavy waves shifted the cargo of bricks aboard the Hine, causing the ship to lose balance. To avoid capsizing, the captain made a bold decision to steer the vessel straight onto shore. A risky move, but it saved the ship. Prepare for a terrifying moment as a massive lightning bolt strikes a cruise ship's funnel while docked in port. In a flash, the sky explodes. Scary, isn't it? In this alarming footage, a barge loses control and crashes into a bridge pillar. The impact sends the vessel drifting dangerously in heavy traffic. Let's explore the giants of the Polar Sea's massive icebreakers. First up is Canada's own the CCGS Henry Larsen, though not the biggest. This 93-metre-long icebreaker is incredibly powerful. Designed to navigate through thick Arctic ice, it features advanced navigation systems and labs for scientific research. With space for 37 people, it cruises at 16 knots. Though it's a light icebreaker, able to break ice up to 1 metre thick. Its flexible design allows it to guide other ships, transport cargo, and carry out rescue missions. Impressive, right? Number 2, meet Odin from Sweden, a polar warrior built for both the Arctic and Antarctic. At 108 metres long and weighing 13,000 tonnes, Odin can break through ice 1 metre thick. It's a floating research base with helicopter pads, modern labs, and room for 80 scientists and crew. It moves through the frozen sea with 25,000 horsepower at 15 knots. Incredible. Number 3. Araon, the polar pride of South Korea. Stretching over 110 metres, it cuts through icy waters like it's no big deal, with a cruising speed of 15 knots. Araon can operate in ice up to 1 metre thick. But it's not just a research vessel, it also delivers critical supplies to scientific stations at both the Arctic and Antarctic, carrying everything from fuel and food to specialised equipment. You see, this isn't just an icebreaker, it's an unstoppable workhorse in the heart of a frozen wilderness. Number 4. Kapitan Khlebnikov, Russia's frozen frontier warrior. This 122.5-metre ship was launched in 1981 for Soviet missions, but was later transformed into an expedition cruise ship. It now carries tourists to the Arctic and Antarctic, with onboard restaurants, libraries, a bar, and even a heated pool. Who says polar expeditions have to be harsh? Number 5. Yamal, the nuclear beast of the frozen frontier. Just one look at the shark face painted on its bow is enough to make you think twice. And yes, the legendary Yamal is a true symbol of Russian power in the icy Arctic. Stretching 150 metres long, this icebreaker is powered by nuclear energy. Every journey out to sea carries unpredictable challenges. It's not just a battle between humans and nature, it's also a test of skill, alertness, and above all, a sense of responsibility for the shared environment we all depend on. As you've seen in this video, just one small mistake, a collision, a fire, or a moment of carelessness can lead to devastating consequences. It's not only about the loss of property or human lives, but also long-term damage to marine ecosystems. Oil spills, sunken ships, or hazardous cargo accidents have polluted entire stretches of ocean, killed thousands of marine creatures, and severely disrupted natural habitats. That's why maritime safety is not just about following rules or technical procedures. It's a real and necessary act of protecting the ocean, a place that nurtures millions of species and sustains human life. We must start with the smallest actions, carefully inspecting vessels before departure, staying updated on weather conditions, avoiding waste discharge into the sea, and raising awareness among everyone on board about the importance of marine conservation. The ocean isn't to blame, but it will respond if we're careless. Let's work together to keep our seas blue, clean, and safe, not just for today, but for generations to come. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe to Always Intense, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next wild wave. Hey everyone, welcome back to Always Intense, where calm waters can turn violent in seconds. The sea may look peaceful, but beneath that calm lies raw power waiting to strike. Let's dive into real moments when control was tested and chaos ruled the waves. During a live test, the Norwegian Navy showcased the accuracy of its naval strike missile. The retired frigate K&M Trondheim served as the target. One clean hit and the missile proved why it's trusted in modern maritime defence. In Rostov-on-Don, Russia, a Malta-registered cargo ship, the Senon, collided with a docked vessel while entering port. No one was hurt, but the ship is now in dry dock for major repairs, a costly reminder that precision matters even at low speed. Two boats tried to squeeze through a river lock at once. Metal clashed, hearts raced, but luck was on their side, just a close call that could have been far worse. A Russian tall ship brushed against a parked Mercedes van in Hamburg during the city's port anniversary. No one was inside. Just a surreal sight, a sail against steel on a quiet dockside street.
Und geht weiter. Jetzt dann das nächste.
February 13th, off the coast of Ko Chang. Thailand, a ferry and a fishing boat collided. Tourists caught the moment on camera. Thankfully, no injuries, just pure panic and relief mixed together on open water. Out of nowhere, a private yacht lost control and smashed into several docked boats. The harbour turned into a scene of chaos, but miraculously, no one was hurt. After all the action, calm moments remind us why life at sea feels so free, even when things go wrong. Sailors still find reasons to smile like Susan, who clearly partied too hard but kept her spirit afloat. Sometimes, the sea reflects our emotions. A man tries to steer his relationship and his boat back to shore after running it straight onto the rocks. Love and navigation both require direction. A small service boat was pulled dangerously close to the hull of a massive vessel. The vacuum pressure dragged it under in seconds, but everyone survived. A chilling reminder, big ships create forces you can't see. No one at the helm, the driver fell overboard. The boat spun wildly until it struck a sailboat and flipped. Scary, unpredictable, but everyone made it out alive. Welcome to Always Intense, where real ships face real fury. Today, we dive deep into moments where steel met the sea and nature showed no mercy. From giant cargo vessels to cruise liners battling the impossible. These are true encounters where survival was not guaranteed. Brace yourself. The storm begins now. The Spanish cargo ship Luno crashes off the coast of Biscay, France. An engine failure during a violent storm left it helpless, drifting towards shore. Moments later, waves slammed it into a breakwater, splitting the ship in two, thanks to the French Coast Guard. All 12 sailors were rescued by helicopter. The Arvin, flying the Palau flag, anchored near the port of Bartin when the storm intensified. The ship broke apart and sank within minutes. Distress calls echoed. Help me. My vessel broken. Rescue teams rushed through massive waves, only some of the crew survived. An Icelandic air rescue team braved hurricane-force winds to reach the cargo ship Skálva, stranded amid freezing waters, hovering above 20-meter waves. The helicopter lifted crew members one by one. It was a fight not just against the sea, but against time itself. In the aftermath of a major Indian Ocean hurricane, cargo from several vessels floated for miles. Broken containers, twisted steel, and oil slicks told a silent story of how small even the largest ships become under nature's wrath. March 16, 2011. The bulk carrier MS Oliva runs aground on remote Nightingale Island, a vital bird sanctuary. Oil spills spread across the coastline, endangering thousands of seabirds. Sometimes, one ship's tragedy becomes nature's as well. A fire erupts aboard a cargo vessel at night. Flames engulf the deck, hundreds of cars are destroyed in minutes. The black smoke against the night sky becomes a terrifying beacon of disaster. The Stella Banner runs aground off Brazil. A 25-meter gash rips through her hull. After all, safety measures fail. The crew abandons ship and she's deliberately sunk to prevent greater environmental damage. In Richards Bay, the bulk carrier smart grounds and breaks apart amid roaring surf. The Indian Ocean once again claims another victim. Every rescue attempt was a race against collapsing steel. The Fedra loses power near Europa Point. Despite help from 3 tugs, she's pinned against the cliffs. Winds tear through at hurricane speed. 4 crew members are lifted to safety as the ship begins to break apart below. The legendary Queen Elizabeth faces a Category 11 storm mid-Atlantic. Giant waves rise higher than her decks, yet she powers through with unwavering grace. Even luxury must bow before the sea's might. The cargo ship Western suffers engine failure in a violent storm. The rescue team struggles to approach through crashing seas. Every minute counts. Finally, they secure lines and tow the helpless ship to port. A massive 160-metre cargo ship nears the Cape of Good Hope. Winds hit 50 ms, rolling the ship 32 degrees. One mistake and the vessel would have vanished beneath the waves. A supply ship fights through an Arctic storm, ice and waves slamming across her bow. Visibility drops to 0, yet the crew presses on, delivering vital supplies to offshore platforms, proving courage can't freeze. Off the US coast, Anthem of the Seas meets Hurricane Hermine. Passengers record the chaos as 100 mph winds rock the 160,000-ton cruise liner. Despite fear and panic, the ship holds steady, a testament to modern engineering. April the 16th, 2014, tragedy strikes. The ferry MV Sewol sinks off the coast of Jindo, South Korea. Hundreds perish, many of them students. A haunting reminder that human error can be as deadly as the storm. Caught in a North Sea storm. A Dutch cargo ship loses control and begins leaking oil. 12 crew members leap into freezing waters. Helicopters pluck them from the waves, every life saved. A small miracle in chaos. A large cargo ship runs aground near Malta. breaking apart and spilling oil across the coastline. Local fishermen and rescue crews unite to contain the damage. The sea gives, and when harmed, it takes back. In the infamous Drake Passage, ships battle 50-knot winds and 30-foot swells. Everything shakes, spins, and screams under the storm's power. Even veteran sailors admit this is the edge of the world. After every wave, there's silence. After every storm, lessons remain. From the Luno to the Sewell, the ocean has reminded us safety. Respect and preparation save lives. The sea is not our enemy, it's our greatest teacher. So wherever you sail, remember, respect the water, protect the ocean, and never underestimate the sea. This has been always intense. Stay safe and stay strong. The ocean tests every crew, every ship, and every decision. From towering waves to relentless storms, courage and skill are the only shields. But the sea is far from done your astonishing moments. Daring rescues and battles against nature await. Stay with us. The adventure continues. Welcome to Always Intense, where real footage meets the fury of the sea, waves that reach the sky, ships that defy nature, and humans who stand against chaos. Every clip you'll see was captured in moments of pure survival, where courage meets the deep. Let's set sail into 20 real moments, where the ocean proved why it's never to be underestimated. A cargo ship runs out of fuel in the middle of the Indian Ocean. 3 tow lines pull it through raging waves as crews fight exhaustion. Each swell slams against the hull, threatening to snap the ropes. After hours of struggle, the exhausted team finally guides the vessel toward the nearest port. A friendly sailing competition in Finland turns into a nightmare. Calm waters turn dark as a massive storm forms overhead. Winds rip through the sails, snapping the front mast clean in half. Yet, the wooden vessel pushes through, finishing the 40-hour race as the only survivor of its class. Over 4,000 passengers return from the Bahamas aboard the Norwegian Breakaway. A violent winter storm strikes winds near 96 keen H, and waves pound non-stop for 3 days. Water leaks through ceilings. Carpets are soaked. Passengers panic in dark corridors. At Frederikshavn, the ship barely holds together until it finally reaches its home port. Sailing from the Falklands to Patagonia, MS Venden hits the deadly waters of Cape Horn. Waves tower up to 20 metres. Icebergs drift close, and wind chills reach Sevenixu. For the captain, this storm becomes the worst in his 27-year career. Objects shatter, decks break, but miraculously, no one is seriously hurt. Off the coast of Norway, Viking Sky loses engine power during a massive storm. The ship tilts violently as water floods lower decks and winds exceed 100 km/h. Passengers wear life vests, clinging to chairs while furniture slides across the floor. Helicopters rescue over 400 people through the night in one of the most dramatic maritime rescues ever. A container ship faces monstrous waves in the Atlantic. 10-metre walls of water crash over the bow, shaking the entire vessel. The crew grips handrails as alarms blare and instruments flicker, despite chaos below deck. The captain's composure keeps them alive through the storm. In another storm, a rogue wave strikes a freighter head-on. The impact shatters the bridge windows, flooding the control room in seconds. Mayday calls echo across the radio as rescue teams scramble to respond. Everyone is saved, but the ship is left broken and scarred. Dozens of small boats filled with tourists face sudden tropical chaos near an island in Thailand. Waves rise fast, slamming hulls and tossing passengers. Captains push through walls of water, searching desperately for calm. By sheer luck, every tourist makes it back unharmed. An Australian couple sailing from Vanuatu to Australia find themselves in a nightmare. A Category 5 cyclone forms overnight, turning the sea into a raging beast. Their small yacht is thrown around by roaring winds and endless rain. At dawn, they emerge shaken but alive, grateful to see land again. The famous Reynisfjara beach looks calm until a sneaker wave strikes. Tourists are caught off guard as the ocean surges up the sand, pulling debris and feet. Warning signs flutter in the wind, often ignored until it's too late. Here, nature proves again the sea doesn't forgive distraction. An expedition ship returning through the Drake Passage faces force 12 winds. Waves of 9 meters crash over the decks, shaking the vessel from bow to stern. Crew record the storm, describing it as terrifying yet mesmerizing. Their survival is a mix of skill and sheer determination. In the freezing North Atlantic, a chemical tanker meets monstrous winter seas. Waves over 20 meters slam its steel body, bending metal and shaking bolts loose. Winds roar above hurricane level, forcing the ship to tilt dangerously. But advanced engineering and human endurance save her from disaster. Inside one passenger ship, chaos erupts as ceilings leak and objects slide across rooms. Crew rush to calm passengers, wrapping wet towels over soaked floors. 3 days of fear test everyone's nerves, yet no major injuries occur. The sea may rage, but human spirit holds stronger. Another vessel, out of power, is dragged slowly through monstrous surf. Each pull by the towing ship risks breaking the ropes as waves roar. The exhausted sailors work hour after hour, drenched and freezing. Finally, the coastline appears safety after unrelenting struggle. No sailor forgets the name Cape Horn. There, wind and water unite to crush the unprepared. Even seasoned captains admit it's the one place where fear feels alive. Each crossing is a duel between man and nature always wins the respect. Five helicopters hover above Viking sky, their rotors slicing the rain. Rescuers lift passengers one by one. Battling wind gusts at 120 km/h. It's a race against time, against exhaustion, against chaos. Every soul saved marks another triumph of courage over catastrophe. When storms last for days, time blurs, crew sleep in shifts, Engines rumble and waves hammer endlessly. Every sunrise feels like victory. Every night a new test of endurance. That's life at sea, no pause button, no retreat. When the sea finally calms, silence feels foreign. The horizon glows orange. Decks are littered with debris, but spirits rise. Survivors embrace, grateful for another sunrise. The ocean gives no mercy, but it always gives meaning. Soft closing music. These storms remind us of one truth: the ocean commands respect. Every voyage demands preparation, teamwork, and care for the waters that sustain us. Protect our seas, honor the crews who face its fury, and never take calm waves for granted. From Always Intense, thank you for joining us, and remember, safety isn't a choice, it's survival. The sea has shown us its fury, from towering waves to shattered hulls, from heroic rescues to disasters that echo through nature. But for every storm that passes, another challenge waits beyond the horizon. New ships, new crews, and new experiments confront the unpredictable might of the ocean. Prepare yourself for the next chapters of survival, endurance, and human courage are about to unfold. The ocean never rests, and neither does its test of those who dare to sail. Welcome to Always Intense, where real ships face real fury. The sea is a place of beauty, but also of power, chaos, and danger. From massive cargo carriers running aground to naval experiments beneath the waves, these moments remind us how fragile even the strongest steel can be when nature strikes. Brace yourself, the storm begins now. A violent storm rages across the northern coast of Andros Island. The bulk carrier Good Faith loses control and runs aground in the Aegean Sea. Waves hammer the hull relentlessly, tearing steel apart like paper. Rescue teams battle fierce winds to save the crew. The sea once again proves it gives no second chances. In a controlled US naval experiment, a massive warship is deliberately sunk. It plunges vertically into the deep, shifting from horizontal to upright as it disappears beneath the waves, a chilling yet mesmerizing sight. This test of engineering becomes a haunting reminder of the power hidden below the ocean's surface. built by the Ulstein Group. 7. Viking was engineered to survive the world's harshest seas, with the power to perform complex subsea operations. It braves towering waves off the coast of Norway. The ship's stability and strength prove why it's trusted in missions where failure isn't an option.
Survey and light construction in some of the harshest environments. The versatility of the vessel allows for RFO op.
The West Navigator meets the fury of Hurricane Barrett. Waves tower over the bridge. Every slam against the hull feels like a hammer strike. But the crew holds course, pushing through chaos with nerves of steel. In Finland, the Italian Prismian Group unveils its new 171-metre marvel, the Mona Lisa, equipped with massive carousels capable of carrying 10,000 tons of undersea cables. It sails to lay networks across oceans at depths of 3,000 metres. Technology meets the deep where precision is survival. The passenger cruiser Voyager is caught in the deadly Hurricane Valentine in the Mediterranean. Passengers cling to railings as waves crash over decks. The ship battles to stay upright and against all odds. It survives the storm's rage. Island Victory, one of the strongest offshore vessels ever built, sets new records with 477 tons of pulling power, while others need 2 ships for anchor work. This one does it alone, in the world's harshest seas. It proves what true engineering strength looks like. When the cruise ship Carnival Vista needed repairs, engineers turned to the semi-submersible giant Boca Vanguard in a daring operation. The entire cruise ship is loaded onto the Vanguard, creating a surreal image of ship on ship in open water. The MS Expedition crosses from Antarctica to South America through Force 12 wins the highest level on the Beaufort scale. Inside, furniture slides, waves tower, and chaos reigns. But the spirit of exploration endures proof that adventure and danger often sail together. March 16, 2011. The MS Oliva, a 225-metre bulk carrier, runs aground on remote Nightingale Island, a critical bird sanctuary near South Africa. Oil spills into the sea, endangering thousands of seabirds. Rescue teams arrive too late to stop the spill. The cost of one mistake echoes through nature. The engines of the Fedra fail near Europa Point Lighthouse, pushed against the cliffs by violent waves. The ship breaks apart. Spanish Coast Guard helicopters lift crew members to safety, a dramatic race against the sea. In the Sargasso Sea, an oil tanker faces Hurricane Sandy head-on. Winds reach 180 km/h, waves crash 30 feet high. Inside the bridge, voices tremble, but the crew refuses to surrender. Moments like these define the thin line between survival and disaster. The TS Taipei suffers engine failure off the coast of Taiwan. It runs aground, breaks in two, and sinks. Salvage teams from Smith deploy massive floating cranes to remove the wreck, a complex rescue in treacherous waters. The Anthem of the Seas cruise ship is battered by hurricane-force winds in the Atlantic. Furniture flies, passengers scream, and 30-foot waves strike the bow. Despite it all, the captain holds steady, turning chaos into survival. A new kind of vessel, the ice-resistant self-propelled platform North Pole. It's built to drift with Arctic ice, a floating research station that can freeze itself into position and continue operating in extreme cold. Science meets survival at the edge of the world. In the icy waters near Cape Navarin, the fishing trawler Captain Bolsovsky strikes solid ice. Cracks rip through the hull as freezing waves pour in. 90 crew members are rescued, a miracle amid destruction. Cameras roll as massive glaciers in Alaska and Argentina crumble into the sea. Walls walls of ice crash down, triggering waves that rock nearby boats. The spectacle is breathtaking, but it's also a reminder of our warming planet and its fragile balance. A colossal piece of glacier breaks away after 30 years of stillness. The roar echoes for miles as ice meets sea. Passengers watch in awe, witnessing nature's raw power unleashed before their eyes. From storms and shipwrecks to technology and endurance, each story has shown us one truth: the sea commands respect. Every sailor, every ship, every mission depends on preparation, courage, and care for the ocean itself. Let these stories remind us to protect our waters, preserve marine life, and ensure safer voyages for generations to come. This is Always Intense, where every wave tells a story. The sea has shown its might again and again, from heroic rescues to shattered hulls, from towering waves to miraculous survival. But calm waters are deceptive. Beyond each horizon, new storms gather, new steel battles nature, and new lessons wait to be learned. Hold tight next. We witness disasters, accidents, and triumphs that prove how unforgiving the ocean truly is. The fury of the sea never rests, and neither does its test of courage. Welcome to Always Intense, where steel meets the fury of the ocean. Out there, no moment is predictable. No voyage is truly safe. These are the real stories of ships that battle storms, fire and chaos, and the brave souls who face nature's wrath. The sea is calm now, but it never stays that way for long. The Japanese container ship APL Japan was caught in a violent Pacific storm. Winds tore across the deck, and, one by one 9/16 cargo containers were swallowed by the ocean. By the time the vessel limped into Kobe, Japan, its steel hull carried the scars of nature's anger, marking the second biggest cargo loss in history. Pushed violently against coastal rocks by the relentless Sirocco wind. Half sunk, it leaned forward as waves broke over the bow. 117 passengers and 6 crew were rescued by local boats, but the memory of that sudden terror stayed forever. Near the Cape of Good Hope, a cargo ship fought 32-degree rolls in towering seas. Another, the Smart, was not so lucky, grounding hard in Richards Bay, where it split in two under the crushing surf. In minutes, the sea reclaimed it. Off Brazil's coast, the Stella banner ran aground. A 25-metre hole ripped open the hull. after days of evaluation, the decision came: sink her deliberately. To prevent an ecological disaster. Sometimes, mercy for the ocean means sacrifice. Bound for the Middle East, the South Korean ship Golden Ray capsized off Georgia. USA, 4,000 vehicles sank with her. The vessel rolled suddenly, trapping crew inside as rescuers cut through the steel hull for days. The ocean gave no warning, only silence before the tilt. At Europa Point, Gibraltar, the ship Fedra lost power and was slammed against the cliffs by hurricane winds. 3 tugs tried and failed. Spanish Coast Guard helicopters plucked 4 sailors from the wreck as waves shattered the hull. It was a fight between rock and sea, and the sea won. On a remote island near Tristan da Cunha, the MS Oliva ran aground, spilling oil into one of the world's most vital bird sanctuaries. Hundreds of seabirds coated in fuel struggled to fly. One ship's mistake became an ecological scar on a paradise few had ever seen. The chemical tanker Blue Star struck rocks off Spain's coast. With quick action, tugboats pulled her free before a rupture could release toxic cargo. The crew's calm coordination prevented another environmental crisis, a rare moment when skill triumphed over chaos. Drone footage captured the moment Stena Immaculate, loaded with jet fuel, was struck by another tanker. In seconds, 2 giants of steel locked together under dark clouds. Disaster loomed, but the crew contained the spill. It was the kind of miracle that happens only once. The cruise ship, Anthem of the Seas, met Hurricane Hermine head-on. Towering waves smashed against her bow as passengers clung to walls and prayed. Inside, chandeliers swung wildly, a floating city, fighting to survive a storm it could never escape. A Chinese Navy warship rammed its own Coast Guard vessel while pursuing a Philippine patrol boat. Metal ground against metal in contested waters. The incident shocked the world, a symbol of rising tensions beneath stormy skies. Off Sri Lanka. The MV Express Pearl erupted in flames. Nitric acid and chemicals spilled into the sea as black smoke filled the horizon. For days, emergency crews battled the inferno, but the ocean turned toxic, its surface burning like oil. The aftermath was an environmental tragedy that haunts Asia's waters. In Egypt, a massive cargo ship lost steering and slammed into the Suez Canal wall. The crash stopped all movement through one of the world's busiest waterways. It was a moment that reminded the planet, one ship can hold up the global flow of trade. Between the Atlantic and Pacific, the Red Rose faced the Drake Strait's legendary rage. Winds of 45 knots, waves 14 meters high. Every impact felt like a hammer against steel. Few places test a ship's soul like these waters. In deep waters off Brazil, the Polar Onyx, an offshore construction vessel, carried out a high-risk operation for Petrobras. Waves pounded its deck, but it stayed steady, a triumph of engineering, proof that human design can sometimes stare down the abyss. Near Antarctica, Aurora Borealis faced a force 9 gale. Winds screamed across the deck, 14-meter breakers rising ahead. Through ice, darkness, and chaos, she pressed on toward the frozen continent. In those moments, silence wasn't peace, it was survival. From the USS Kitty Hawk, damaged in a storm, to the Tobruk, deliberately sunk to create a reef, every ship tells a story of danger, of duty, of the eternal pull between man and sea. Each wreck becomes part of the ocean's memory, buried, but not forgotten. Every storm ends, but the lessons remain. The ocean demands respect, not conquest. Each mistake, each tragedy, carries a warning: protect life, protect the waters that sustain us. Because out there, where steel meets the sea, survival depends on balance between power and humility. This is Always Intense, reminding us that the sea never forgets.
Welcome to Always Intense, where the ocean never sleeps. Out here, calm turns to chaos in seconds, and beauty hides behind danger. Every ship, every wave, every moment tells a story of survival. Prepare yourself. This is where man meets the fury of the sea. A frozen giant begins to crack. Thunder rolls across the bay as a mountain of ice collapses into the water. The sea rises, twisting into a mini tsunami that rocks every vessel nearby. What begins as silence ends in shock and awe. A massive wave slams a cruise ship head-on, sending walls of water across its decks. Passengers shout, cameras shake, and the sea reminds everyone who's in control. Even the strongest steel bends when nature strikes without warning. Gale force winds sweep across the coast. A ship loses its grip and crashes against jagged rocks. The bow dips beneath the waves as alarms blare, but no lives are lost today. The ocean spares them, this time. A powerful hurricane builds on the open sea. Waves rise like buildings, smashing into the hull from every side. Inside, chaos reigns. Furniture slides, lights flicker, and the ship moans under pressure. All anyone can do is hold on and hope. The ship tilts hard to one side as monstrous waves hit. People stumble, glass shatters, panic spreads. But deep in the bridge, hands remain steady on the controls, fighting the storm second by second. A massive swell rolls across the horizon, glowing silver in the stormlight. It's breathtaking and deadly. The ocean can mesmerize you, then destroy you, all in the same heartbeat. Ice groans and splits apart, sending colossal slabs crashing into the water. The impact throws up a wave so high it shakes the passing boats. For a moment, nature seems alive, wild, cold, unstoppable. Two massive vessels, side by side, are caught by a sudden storm. Wind tears through the harbor, ropes snap, and the ships collide. Metal grinds, alarms scream, proof that even in port, the sea is never still. A ferry leans dangerously to one side as waves pour in. People scream, rushing for lifeboats as the ship begins to sink. Moments later, silence. Only the ocean remains. The wind screams across the deck. The ocean roars in reply. Every lurch feels like falling from a cliff. Those who've crossed this passage say one thing: you never forget it.
They shall reef around a sunken vessel.
In the middle of a raging sea, a helicopter hovers above a stricken ship. A rope drops, spinning wildly in the wind. A life is lifted from the storm below, courage meeting chaos head-on. Snow, wind, and water fuse into one blinding wall. The ship trembles, surrounded by endless gray. No horizon, no stars, just the sound of waves and the will to survive. Engines fail, ropes snap, and a massive ship drifts out of control. It slams into the dock, crushing everything in its path. Screams echo as metal bends and breaks, a scene of pure power and panic. Deep in the fjords, an ancient glacier collapses, shaking the earth. The air explodes with sound as millions of tons of ice crash into the sea. For a moment, nature reclaims its silence, cold and eternal. The sky turns black, the sea turns white. Winds howl at impossible speeds, waves tower like mountains. Inside the ship, people pray, whispering to the storm as if it can hear them. The ocean's fury doesn't stop outside, it comes inside. Water floods the decks, furniture smashes against the walls. It's a terrifying reminder, sometimes the storm wins. From the cliffs of ice, a thunderous roar, and then it all falls. The sea rises violently, swallowing everything in its reach. Cameras shake, voices scream, hearts race. This is power beyond human measure. The ocean has spoken. It's a world of beauty, but also of warning. Respect its strength, prepare for its fury, and protect what keeps us alive. Safety isn't just a rule, it's survival. And the ocean we fear today is the same one that sustains us tomorrow. This is Always Intense, where every wave tells a story and every survivor becomes one.